Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I'm Sarah, and I appreciate your presence in this practice today. It's a full body stretch, make you feel refreshed and open and ready for whatever you're facing. See you on the mat. Let's start this full body practice laying down on your back, please. Let's go ahead and come down onto the back and rest your arms alongside the body, palms facing up. Extend your legs out straight. And go ahead and reach your arms overhead and take a full stretch from toes to fingers. Big, full inhale. Let's open and close the hands, point and flex the feet. And then gently draw your right knee in toward your side rib. Traction that right thigh in. Pause there. Taking a moment to arrive in your body, feeling that sensation of the right thigh drawing in toward your body and the left thigh bone dropping down. Tuning into your breath through the nose. And then we'll extend the right sole of the foot toward the ceiling, hands behind the thigh bone, calf, or ankle. If it's too intense as you're warming up, you can always have your left foot on the ground instead of having that left leg totally extended out. And we'll gaze up at that right foot and start to point and flex through the right foot, taking this stretch of the entire energy line from the right heel down into the sitting bone. And when that foot is flexed, go ahead and open your elbows. Start to bring your face toward your knee toward your face. Lift your left heel. Press the center of your left heel away from the hip as you exhale. And then let your head fall back. Slowly release your right foot onto the floor. And then pressing through your right foot, hug your left knee in for a gentle squeeze. Cross your left ankle on top of the right thigh. Thread the needle, slipping your left hand in between that space in the legs. And hands are in the knee crease or in the front of the shin. For figure 4, reclined pigeon pose. Let that left lower back start to lay down toward the floor and both knees tractioning away from your forehead toward the front of your mat. Feel free to rock a little bit and massage out your back there. And then hug the legs a little closer. Uncross, come into full happy baby. So you can bend your knees deeply. The heels are over your knee joint. Reach for your outer shins, ankles, or the outside blades of the feet. And the soles of feet facing the sky. And you can rock and massage your back on the floor. Feeling the back ribs rest. Shoulder blades dropping down into the floor. Give those outer ankles or feet a little bit of a pull down toward the knees. And then gently release. Bring your soles of the feet onto the floor. Hip width distance. Then reach your arms overhead. Extend one leg out. Extend the other leg out. Inhale deep into the belly. Nice lower back curve. Exhale, hug the left knee in into Palamukkatasana. Traction the left thigh toward your side body. Palamukkatasana is a wind relieving pose. The right thigh bone drops down. It's supposed to be a good digestion pose. Inner thigh psoas, opener, lower back support, and pain relief. A lot of benefits to taking this simple pose every day. Remember, if it's too intense, that right foot could be on the ground instead. And we're going to extend that left foot up toward the ceiling. Hands can be behind the thigh bone, calf, or reaching up toward the ankle. Point and flex through that left foot and see how that left leg is feeling. And when that left foot comes to flex, start to open your elbows and gather that left leg toward your body. Lift your right heel, press that right heel away. Exhaling, drawing the ribs in. Then release your head back. Let's take that left foot on the ground. Left heel is about in alignment with the sitting bone. And then hug your right knee in, little squeeze. Then cross that right ankle on top of the left thigh. Thread the needle. So you slide that right hand in between that triangular space in your legs, and hands are in the left knee crease or the front of the shin. Lightly flex the feet. So we feel this more in the outer hip than we do in our knee joint. Why not take a moment to close your eyes, Tune back into your breath and how you feel. And it's always nice to consider what your intention is for stepping on the mat today. And what do you want to accomplish here? Or what do you want to cultivate here? You don't have to accomplish anything except for hopefully to relax and feel a little better after getting in your body. Now hug your legs in, squeeze them in, uncross, make your way back to full happy baby, reaching for the outer shins, ankles, or the outer feet. And let the heels traction toward the knees. Shoulder blades are soft. Then cross either ankle on top and take a gentle rock right up to sit. Sweep the arms overhead. Big full inhale, reaching up. Exhale, twist to the right, right fingertips behind. Left hand comes to the outer right thigh. Gently look over your right shoulder. Then inhale, sweep up. Exhale, turn to the left. Look over your left shoulder. Let's flow through that a couple times. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, turning, wrapping that left rib around. Look to the right. And then inhale, little back bend. Exhale, gently look to the left. And then inhale, sweep up. Exhale, roll forward. We're going to come into a tabletop position. In tabletop position, spread your fingers wide. Start to let your belly hang down. Lift your sitting bones up toward the sky. And then drag the heels of the hands toward the knees as you spread your chest. Look up on the inhale. Exhale, round. Scoop the tail. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze ahead. Exhale, we're going to round. Stretching out through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the toes, hips to heels. Walk your hands forward quite a bit. Spread the fingers really wide. Pressing through the knuckles and the pads of the fingers. Lift your knees and send those sitting bones straight up. Let your head shake out. Roll the inner thighs up toward the ceiling. And see that your knees aren't knocking in too much. Keep wrapping your knees open over the second toe. And lift the heels high. Come on to tiptoes. Keep lifting the sitting bones up as you tiptoe forward, all the way between your thumbs. And inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, press the hands down through heart center. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up, gazing up at the palms as they press together. Exhale, belly in, slowly swan dive down, crown of head last. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms, take a big step back into plank. Either modify onto your knees or elbows in, lower down, chaturanga, come onto your belly. Take your feet flat, pressing through the tops of the feet. Inhale, drag your palms toward your hips, cobra pose. Exhale, let's send the hips to the heels, tuck the toes, and glide the hips up into a downward dog, and shake the head out. Step your feet a little closer together, and then lift your right heel high into three-legged dog. Stretch that right heel up and back. Keep lifting your left underarm. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose. Slide your right foot through right between the hands. So the right knee is going to be over the heel. Hands are framing that front foot. Gaze ahead. And then start to press through the ball of that right foot. Spin the left heel down, even if you have to shorten your stance a little bit. And we're going to fold over that right thigh, tractioning that right sitting bone back, anchoring through the left heel. Now let's bend the right knee. Four corners of both feet are pressing. We're going to prepare to lift up into warrior one. So those left toes are pointing toward the front of your mat quite a bit. Drop the tail, gather the belly in, and then slowly make your way on up into Virabhadrasana 1. It's warrior one. So you're gazing straight ahead. Those arm bones are framing your ears. Biceps hugging in toward the ears. Spread through your toes. Drop your pelvis down a little bit. And then straighten that front leg on the inhale. Grab either elbow lightly. Lift your elbows up. Inhale. When you exhale, bend your right knee. Start to lean forward and reach your hands back. Interlace your fingers. As you traction your knuckles back, start to fold toward humble warrior. So you're going to lay your right front chest on top of the thigh, or you're going to work your right shoulder on the inside of that right knee, and then let the crown of head spill down. Peel the arms away from the back. Keep tractioning that right sits bone straight back so that your right butt doesn't poke out too much. And we were going to inhale, exhale, let it out. Press through both feet, start to slowly come on up. We're going to straighten that right leg all the way as you lift up and float up through the crown of the head. Now take your hands on your hips, turn your right toes in, your right heel out. Find this wide-legged stance. Reach your arms away from the body. Fingertips stretch away from the shoulders. Inhale, rotate, palms up, look up. And exhale, we're going to slowly fold. Take your hands to your outer ankles. And then start to bring the center crown of the head straight into contact with the floor over time. If you're very far from the floor, don't worry about it. Just imagine the center crown of the head starting to come down. The arches of the feet are lifting. And with hands on the ankles, open your elbow tips away from each other so you feel really broad in the collarbones and upper back. One more inhale. And exhale, drop the tail. Start to lift the belly. Go ahead and come on up and take your hands right onto your hips. And then turn your right toes toward the top of your mat. We're going to cartwheel that left arm up and forward and reach the left fingertips forward. Then take your left hand down, tented fingers, swing the left heel over the toes and come into a twist. Right hand can be on your back or extend the right fingertips up. Inner thighs move apart as you inhale. Exhale, come into a little back bend, looking up toward the ceiling. And then exhale, release your right hand down on the outside edge of that right foot. And then step back into downward dog. Meeting there. Pedaling out the feet. Letting the head shake out. Letting the head dangle down. Now step the feet a little closer. Let's swing that left heel high for three-legged dog. And see if I can remember the sequence on the other side. You can call me out in the comments if I forget something. So we're going to inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Step through. Get that left foot between the hands. Or you can comment and say, great job, you remembered it all, Sarah. So the inner thighs are going to move apart. Look forward. Look up. Let's inhale. Then exhale. Start to press through the ball of that left foot. Drag the left leg straight, and you're going to anchor that outer right heel as we come to Parsvottanasana. Hands can be on the floor or blocks. Gaze at your left hip and fold there. So you're pressing that left leg as straight as you can without locking or hyperextending the knee joint. There's that little micro bend so that this posture accesses the musculature of the left leg, not depending on straining the joint in any way. Right hip point rolls down. One more. Exhale there. And then start to bend that left knee over the heel. Press through both feet and slowly going to make our way up into warrior one. Heads of the thigh bones plugging up into the hip sockets. Arms are going to drift up alongside the ears. Keep drawing your ribs in. As you inhale, reach up, grab your opposite elbow. Lift the elbows up. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bend your left knee, and as you fold, reach your hands around. Interlace the awkward finger and start to come into humble warrior on this side. So that left shoulder can work to the inner knee, or that left front chest can just lay on top of your left thigh. And we really want to draw that left sits bone around toward the right sits bone so it doesn't poke out. And as you hang your head, you look at your right foot. See that you have a nice arch in that right foot. So the inner arch wants to lift right up into the inner ankle, and just try. Root through the outer right foot. Then pressing through both feet, start to slowly come on up with control. Straighten your left leg all the way. Lift on up. And then hands to hips. Turn your left toes in, your left heel out. Find that wide-legged stance. Open your arms out. Turn your palms up. Inhale, arch through your back, look up. Exhale, we're going to swan dive down. And take your hands, take your peace fingers, your two fingers, hook them around your big toes. We're doing a different variation here, resting your thumb on your toenail, and then lift your two fingers up on the toes as you press the toes lightly into the fingers, and it can help move you into that fold a little more. Good. You can maybe wag the tail a little bit. Inhale, exhale, let it out your mouth. Head spilling down. Then start to gather the belly, slowly come on up. Take your hands back up to your hips. Feel the crown of the head floating up, soft shoulders. And then turn your left toes to point toward the front of your mat. And then we're going to cartwheel that right arm up and over and reach to the right fingertips. Swing that right heel over the toes. Come into your twist. Right hand on the ground. The right hand can be a little wider than the shoulder, so you have more room to turn. Right rib toward left rib. Left fingertips extend up. Inner left knee glides forward slightly. Inhale, exhale, lean into a little more back bend. And release that left hand down. Hands frame the front foot. We're going to step back gently into downward dog or child's pose if you need it. Send the sitting bones high and roll your way into plank. Lower all the way down. Take your feet flat. Inhale, glide up into a cobra. Back bend, shoulders on the back. Exhale, we're coming into child's pose. Hips to heels. Finding child's pose for a couple of breaths. Forehead melting down. And we're taking option for rabbit pose today, lifting your belly, bringing your knees in. So for rabbit pose, if your neck is feeling too tight, we'll just be really careful with this. So let's go ahead and tuck the toes. Bring your hips back. And then you're going to bring your palms about in alignment with your outer knees, and then bring your hairline down to the floor. You're going to bring your hairline onto the floor. And that's a fine place to stay. If it feels safe for you, you could start to roll a little more right onto the crown of your head. And if you feel secure with the crown of your head plugged in, you can interlace your fingers and peel your arms away from the back for that rabbit pose. So neck release can help with headaches. And then very gently come out the way you came with a controlled core, slowly rolling back to the hairline, belly to thighs. Take your feet flat and lay the backs of the hands down and touch your heels or your feet as you come into that embryo pose. Big inhale expands the belly. Exhale, let it all the way out. And draw your belly in and slowly come on up. And find your way up to sit nice and tall. Make your way over onto the side. Swing your legs around. Extend your legs out straight. Sit up really tall. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Look up. And then exhale, release your hands down behind tented fingers. Lift up your chest. Gaze up. When you exhale, slide your hands forward, touch your toes. Paschimottanasana, that full back body stretch. Gradually folding. Looking down between your knees. And then start to sit up. And we're going to make our way down onto the back. You can come slowly down, pulling your core in. Come down however you get there. Find that space to rest on your back. And let your head go. Relax the entire back body into the ground. Draw one shoulder blade at a time underneath your back. Hug both knees in toward your body. Give a little squeeze and rock and massage your back on the ground. Trace some circles with the knees so that you really massage out that lower back. And then we're going to hug the knees in, curl into a ball, knees to chin, chin to knees. Take a big inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, release everything out into your Shavasana. Take your heels a little wider than usual. Take your palms a little further away and really take up a little space as you let go in this mountain pose. Mountain pose, what the hell am I saying? Shavasana. Final pose where everything falls away and everything falls into place the way it should be. And you're right where you need to be in this present moment. Find that softness in the corners of the eyes and in the corners of the mouth. And the floor holds up the weight of your body as you surrender, both physically and into the flow of all things. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do, no obligations to fill. Only the flow of your breath and the gradual relaxing of all the muscles and joints and bones. And we know that we have the freedom to choose how we feel in any given moment or what thoughts we want to welcome in. As you inhale, remember your intention for practice and inviting gratitude for anything you have to be grateful for into your heart, into your cells. You start to wiggle your toes and take a big reset stretch, reaching long. Big full inhale, and when you exhale, draw your knees in and roll to either side. That feels natural for you to rest with the head in the crook of the arm for a couple of moments to pause. And when you're ready, gradually, using your hands to support you, make your way up. And we find the crown of the head arriving up last. Cross other ankle on top. Crossing on top your opposite ankle, your non-habitual ankle, just to balance out the hips. And let's inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down through the central channel and plug your thumbs in right to the center of the sternum. Thanking yourself for showing up on the mat today. I'm wishing you joy, peace, health, strength, courage, and trust on the journey. Namaste. Thank you very much for coming today. So grateful for your presence in my YouTube community. Drop me a comment, like, share, subscribe, all of those things. And now you can even hit the heart button. It's the super thanks button, which can support my channel. And if you do, thank you. Look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.